you up for supplies. That's it? Can't take it, man. We got no food, we got no supplies, our pets' heads are falling off! It's okay, man. Because I know a place. I know a place where the beer flows like wine. And the granola bars are abundant. It's a place called Canada. It is a long, winding death road, but we must go there! Hello, all you beautiful gamers out there. It is I, Totem Lord.
And Lord Deva.
And today we're here to talk about video games. A little bit of video game chatter for you. And the game we're talking about is Deathroad to Canada.
Oh la
What
la.
is Deathroad to Canada?
It's a miracle.
Indeed.
Too good for this world. So Deathroad to Canada was a game that was, I remember seeing it before it was released, and I was like, oh, well, this looks kind of cool. It was pixelated, and a lot of games were coming out like that. It was like all pixelated, kind of side-scrolly, and this one actually was not. It was kind of story-based. I'm like, all right. So I kind of looked at some pictures, like, well, it's very Oregon Trail-y, but zombies, so that's kind of cool. And I was like, when it comes out, I'll give it a shot. It looks good. And then I played it, and it was just amazing. Like, it surpassed my expectations. It was quirky, hilarious, and I was like, I've got to play this with my friends. And this is like back when it was just 2-player. And so then, of course, I'm like, I come to game day, and I'm like, you guys have got to play this.
See, my experience of the game is far less glamorous than that. See, Shad and I were living together, and he was playing this game, and I just kind of walked by. I was like, oh, what's that? And I was immediately repulsed by it. Which is funny, because I'm not usually a graphics guy, but the style of it just, I don't know, just looks so, ugh. And Shad's like, why don't you play it with me? And I was like, I'll watch first. And
Just swallow down the bottle.
And even as I was watching it, I was like, okay. And he's like, here, it's 2-player. I was like, sure. You know what? Why not? We're friends. In the name of our friendship, I played. And I freaking loved it. It was an absolute blast. And probably my favorite part is that it changed every single time we played it. So you never ever got to play the same game twice. It was just amazing.
Yeah, and then like they added different perks and things like that later, to where if you have this perk, there is, I don't know, like some percentage chance that you're going to have encounters that you would never have before. So like the game can constantly surprise you.
Yes. Like Shad said, though, it is it's an Oregon Trail type game, which for me, that's absolutely awesome, because I grew up playing that at school in the ugly green screen, so maybe it's perfect that it's
Ancient
ugly.
creature.
But yeah, it is very much like Oregon Trail, and you can create your own character and have them look hideous, but look hideous to how you want them to look, which is really cool. And you can give, like Chad said, you can give different perks, like if they're a city traveler or a friend of dog.
Yeah. Oh man, there's
bodybuilder. There's
oh god, that's a huge thing. Not to spoil anything, but no, that's the cool thing too, is that you can always change your look, and you can change the perks and traits if you don't like them, so you can keep the same look. Like it's so interchangeable.
Oh yes.
Oh.
The story in Deathroad to Canada, it's a pretty simple one. You live in Florida, there's been a zombie apocalypse, and you're trying to get to Canada to get away from all this nonsense that's happening here in the U.S. of A.
The South.
Yes.
The Florida South.
You travel there by car, and sometimes on foot, anytime you are unfortunate enough to do that, which happens a lot.
Bad on morale.
Really.
Oh gosh.
What's really cool, you have morale. You have to constantly get supplies like food, gas. You have to have weapons. Medical supplies. You've got to constantly upkeep all this stuff while keeping your morale up. If your morale goes down, the game's not as fun.
Also, like, you have skill sets that are randomly generated for each person, and so if you keep investing into your medical, if you survive that long, it gets to the point where to heal one person, you need 3 med packs or 5 med packs, to where it's like you are only down to 1 and you heal like the entire party if you can get it high enough. So like there is benefit to like keeping them around and not just cycling through survivors, because you pick them up quite frequently, because you can lose them quite frequently. But yeah, there's like even just kind of going to a short little story about it, is like I made my grandma on it, and like so she was just this vigilante. Like whenever something went down, she was always behind the scenes, and she busted us out, and it was this awesome thing. And so we're like, yeah, grandma, she's amazing. And then all of a sudden, like the first encounter, I think even before an encounter happened, Grandma was the primary and my brother Jace was the secondary, and immediately Grandma stole all the food, stole all the medical supplies, took off with the car, and left Jace, player 2, by himself. And that was that. Like, it was just a narrative to where the first player was out of the game for that time being because all of a sudden Grandma went rogue. So it's completely random play every single time. You don't even, like, I didn't know that could happen.
It is so funny. Yeah, you're going to have different things happening to you. So there's 2 parts to the game. One of them is text. And that's probably like the more entertaining part. That's like where you're just reading what's going on. Everybody has different personalities. So what was it? Like you said, like Grandma was like a basically a badass.
She had a she had a mysterious past.
Mysterious past. That was it. And yeah, and I remember she was the primary character in that story.
Yeah, she was prime. She was first player, and the first player didn't even get to play the game.
That's just one of the scenarios. But you can meet characters you create. You can meet characters that are actually based on pop culture. Yeah, pop culture. Like I actually ran into Jason from Friday the 13th. I ran into Link from Legend of Zelda. None of them have their real names. But yeah, you run into a whole slew of characters, and I don't think I've even scratched the surface, and I've put in like 40, 50 hours into this game.
Oh yeah, like, was it you or Tiara that was playing, and like this isn't going to spoil anything because it's so different, and there's such a wide variety, but your survivors started disappearing, and morale was going up by one character.
So I recruited the Jason character, and anytime his morale went down, he got like really depressed, and the text was saying that he went off with somebody else and that other person didn't come back, but his morale was boosted.
Just kidding. You can hold up to like what, 4 players?
Yep, you can have 4 players in your party. At first there was only 2 player, but they updated it where now you can have 4 players, and I think that just added to the fun to it.
But you could always have like you'd have tag-alongs, like NPC, like NPCs, yeah, non-player characters. But yeah, they would just start disappearing. They just come back to the car, and there's just like one less.
and yeah, that's just one scenario, and it's just endless amounts of fun in that regard.
And the music's fun.
Oh, the music. Let's talk about the music.
Yeah, good segue. Yeah, it's so poppy. It's kind of like you expect this dreary zombie apocalypse landscape, and no, it's like da-na-na-na. It's like this action. It's charming. Everything about it's just charming.
It is, and like there are times when the music like fits the mood, like because you'll run into to ambushes to where like you're in one spot, one house. Like you can go in the house if you want, but these zombies are just gonna swarm you, and it's gonna be nonstop for a fixed time period. It might be a half hour, it might be an hour, it might be one scenario is 4 hours.
Oh gosh, I don't think I've ever lived through one of those.
You probably haven't. But yeah, I didn't even say the 2 types of game modes. There's text, and then there's an actual action sequence where you're going into the towns, like, and you can pick whether it's a bookstore, whether it's Yalmart.
Choose your adventure, yeah.
Yeah, it's really cool. It really lets you pick and choose what you want to do, which makes it a more personalized experience, and I think that's what makes it really good. But yeah, going back to sound, it really does fit the mood, because there are times when you're jaunting through, you're getting supplies, and it might be like a calm morning just before each segment where you control the character. It'll tell you what the forecast is.
Yeah.
Like the zombies are it's a mild swarm. They're in an irritated mood, and it's morning, and that will factor into how each scenario plays out.
Flashlights, that's all I'm saying.
If it's dark, you better have a flashlight as one of your carry items.
Oh gosh. Yeah.
It just gets ugly without it.
Oh.
But yeah, I think I commented on graphics earlier, but I freaking hated them when I first saw it. I was like, it's like, wow, they're really just letting any game just flow into the eShop. And this is before they let all the the 30 games a week stuff happen.
Yeah.
But graphics, they kind of grew on me. I do like them now. At first, I was repulsed.
I've had people that played like, is that their nose or mouth? What is happening there? You're looking too hard into it. Don't worry, there'll be zombies flying at your face soon. It doesn't matter.
Because yeah, characters are just like or you have tiny little legs, you got a stick body and a big old head. They don't have arms, but you can carry a variety of weapons. Bats.
You're right. They just kind of float.
Yeah, they just kind of bob here and there, and you control them. And whatever you do, don't let your first impression of it.
Yeah, play it to like understand it, because like it's something that it's a must play game. It's not a watching it can be fun and all, but Yeah, it comes to the point where we are now collecting clips of what's going on in our games because they're small, and it's a game that you can pick up and stop, so it's not like you have to continue through the whole thing. It's like you can just play for a second, and like already enough happens to kind of really progress the storyline or like devastate your party. So like beware
Yes.
just popping in for a quick little second because it might not go so well when you come back.
It really makes you pick and choose like what's important, what to prioritize.
True, yeah, because like I said, the stats are always random. So like if you want to go heavy hitter and just go knocking crazy, the stats don't favor you that time. Like one hit can like wipe your guy out, and like you'll just be overrun. So combat. This is not a combat game. This is definitely tactical. Uh, Group up and kill the one when you need to, but get around the mass group because yeah, combat style playing will be the downfall of your entire group.
If there happens to be like a sporting goods store nearby, yeah, you can just go off and slap all the zombies you want, but you also have stamina in the game. So swinging around those weapons too much, your character will fatigue, he will slow down, he'll get down to where he can't swing the weapon at all.
Unless he's swole.
Unless he's swole. But yes, I don't know. Overall, the game's just a freaking delight. Like you said, the music's very catchy.
Yeah, and random. Like it's not what you expect.
Yeah, the graphics are a big turn off at first, but they're pretty charming. I'll give it that. I'll give it that.
And you do get throughout the game you get zombo points, and so that's something that when you die or you succeed, it's like you can go back and you can buy more traits. You can buy more perks. You can get more from it. You can unlock more classes. And even that has this whole little town that you go to that has insane characters. Like the character creativity on the game's part is hilarious. Like you will not walk away not laughing. Like every single time you're going to be cracking up. This game is hilarious.
I've taken so many clips on my Switch just to capture parts of text that are so funny.
Yeah, even still, like how long have we had it now?
Oh, at least a year.
Yeah, for as long as it's been released, like we've had it since like release date, and even still, he's showing me videos that I have never even come across, and I'm like blown away.
Yeah, it's fun to play on your own. It's even funner to play it with people, and
Yeah.
even if you don't have enough people, or even if you have more people than controllers, it's still just really fun to just watch.
Yeah, and that's important too because like I'm big on multiplayers, and if I can enjoy it just playing it single player, which is easy to do, like that's saying something.
Definitely.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Well, any final thoughts?
Get the game. If you can't get the game and you're questioning it, find somebody that has it and play it because like you'll wound up loving it. I don't think I've met a single person that I've told and had them play with me that hasn't got the game. Like bought the game like immediately actually.
Yeah, like after I played with you, I like the next payday I bought it like straight. I was like,
Yeah.
yep, this is mine. Also, it's either Play Asia or someplace actually released it physically. So
Oh, of course they did. Oh, I'd love that. Oh, I'd love that.
and it looks like it's worth getting. I actually saw another collector channel that was, oh, it's drool worthy. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
All right, well, I got nothing else. It's a great game. It's fairly cheap, like what, $15 at best.
It's not expensive. Like I
No.
said, yeah, do yourself a favor because like it's not that expensive and it's totally worth it. And whether you have a group of people, just one other person or yourself, you're going to be entertained. You're going to laugh.
With Halloween coming up, it'll be an awesome. It's a really
Oh
good
my,
game to pick up.
yes. Oh, that's true. And like I said, it can go long or short. The game is perfect for any time.
It can be long, it can be short. Oh, there's also different game modes too, but
There is a whole menu for you.
Yeah,
Check it out though. Like get the game and check it out because there's a lot.
yes, it is definitely worth. It's more than worth your money. It's an endless amount of fun. I swear to you. I
Yeah.
swear to you.
He'll bleed for you.
All right, that's all I have for you today. Thank you for checking us out. We will judge you next time.
After Pluto got fleas, we just decided you monster. Look at he's saying no. I love you. It's better than the cancer.